my students like to do work on their paper on a loose leaf. They take a picture of it. They have their Teams app on their phone. I'm showing you my picture, but my camera's not on. So hang on. So they will take a picture of it and send me a picture of their work on their phone. So they have the Teams app. So that's one way to do it. I saw Julie Bonville just thought, well, I'll just put it in the post, which is okay too. And you will find if you're new to assignments, it gets creative. And it took a while with my class to get everybody doing the same thing, because some people would send it to me through the chat. I would get answers through the chat. And so it took about a couple of weeks for us to get our flow, because I'm teaching only online. So we had to have a way that worked well for me. Why I like them to return. So when you do a question and return it, you have to press the submit button or I won't get it. So I'm just going to show you if I go.
Where's the submit button?
With you,
supposed to be on the top right. No, because they're not.
Turn in. It says turn in.
For me, it just says close.
You can turn in your work and then it shows
Can
you
I
like
ask
a
a
little
question where
spaceship.
it says add work? A number of things come up. What do I choose?
What are your options?
Hello?
what are your options, Natalie? I think she's frozen.
Yeah, I think so too. Kathy, is there a way to go back and edit that homework? To make
No, because I sent it out already. But
okay.
If I wanted to, and I saw, well, my students want to edit on the document, I could just create another document. So let's try that. So I create from existing. So I'm going to create, I want to resend it, existing.
Alors, ce que Cathy dit, c'est qu'on ne peut pas aller le modifier comme tel. Alors, ce qu'on ferait dans ce cas-là, ce qui est arrivé, c'est que quand elle l'a créé, on a oublié de cocher que les étudiants pouvaient modifier leur propre document. Alors là, pour le faire, c'est pas modifiable. Alors, il faudrait l'effacer puis recommencer. Et ce qui est facile, c'est que dans le fond, on peut, quand on fait une nouvelle assignation, on peut en prendre une qui vient d'un devoir existant. Alors, à ce moment-là, il suffit juste de leur cliquer, il est déjà fait. Puis aller modifier l'option.
J'ai une question.
Oui.
Je suis dans le devoir. C'est marqué 3 ways to show a fraction. Puis en dessous, c'est marqué my work. Et si je vais là-dedans, puis j'écris mes réponses, où est-ce que je fais submit?
C'est ça. En fait, là, vous ne le pouvez pas parce qu'on a fait l'erreur quand on a créé le devoir. On a oublié d'aller cocher que les élèves pouvaient modifier le document. Alors, la feuille que vous avez reçue, c'est une feuille qui ne se modifie pas.
Oui, mais moi, j'en ai une autre feuille. C'est My Work.
Oui, c'est ça. Celle-là non plus, elle n'a pas été modifiée.
Encore,
c'est ça. Le Cathy est en train de le refaire, par contre.
I think they have a way to do it on a different document, on a separate document. But I'm adding another resource to the same assignment. And I should be able to edit this one. So I see the 3 dots. Students can edit. Students edit their own copy. So you should be able, see now the 2 differences? The first one you couldn't edit. Now you can edit your own copy. So I'm going to assign that to you. So those of you that want to do it right on that Word document, you now have a second assignment. It's the same one with a second option to edit. And this is what it's like in the virtual hub. It's not going to go, you're going to have moments where it's problem solving and you're figuring out how to do it. And everyone gets a comfortable way to do it, and you will find yours. But you just start in small steps. And what I would suggest, if you're something that you haven't done, you get a buddy, and you send an assignment to a buddy, and they send one to you. Create a team with a partner. Okay, so I'm going to go into assignments to see how we're doing. So when I look in assignments...
I didn't receive the second one.
Me neither.
No?
No? Maybe it's in my drafts.
No, it's done.
There might be a delay with the computer. I have to move your faces, sorry. Those are my drafts, so these are ones that, no, it should have been assigned.
Mm-hmm. I
still don't have it either.
Either.
No. There, it just came through. I just got it.
Yeah, it just came in.
Yeah, so that happens too, like there'll be those delays, that's okay.
Ça. Mais oublions pas que là, on est 80. Vous n'aurez jamais une classe de 80. Alors, ça joue aussi le nombre de personnes à qui on l'envoie.
Okay.
There's 80 people right now getting these. So it
Right, so I'm gonna go
delays
to,
a little longer, yeah.
It gives us an option to open in Teams, open in Word, open Word Online, or download. Which one is the best one for a student to choose?
again, it depends on what device they're on. There's not one answer. If they open online, it might be easy if they have good Wi-Fi, but managing a Word document online can be a little bit frustrating for some. Some like to download it and use a Word document, so it's not changing all the time as you write on it. That's probably the easiest. My students find it the easiest to reply with their own work on it, with a picture of their own work, to be honest.
Okay.
And
I still
for
can't
languages.
submit.
Ah, peut-être lancer. Sandra, just to go back to your question, I know for languages we use this a lot. If you open it in Teams, it basically opens Word online, but within the Teams setting. Much like when I was sharing the PowerPoint in the beginning, I was sharing the PowerPoint within Teams. I had like a purple band all around it. But it's basically the same as Word Online. Daniel René still does not
Oui.
see it. Ça a pris du temps un peu avant qu'il apparaisse. Est-ce que vous avez vu le deuxième devoir?
Oui,
OK. Ça fait toujours pas?
mais je peux pas le soumettre.
Ah ouais.
Mais quand on l'ouvre dans, disons, l'application de bureau Word, comment qu'on fait pour le soumettre?
Il se sauvegarde automatiquement à ce moment-là. Il faut juste s'assurer en haut à gauche.
Dans Word, là, tu parles?
Ouais, c'est ça, dans Word, en haut à
Ok,
gauche.
je
Il faut
pense
juste
que
s'assurer
ça
que la
marche.
sauvegarde est automatique. Quand on le ferme, après ça, il faut aller cliquer quand même sur.
Ok, c'est ça.
Lindsay, can I show
Sur
your
quoi?
work?
En français, je ne sais pas comment il affiche, je me souviens plus. En anglais, c'est turn in. C'est juste pour cliquer pour dire.
OK, mais quand je dis sauvegarde automatique, là,
Ouais.
ça m'amène dans affectation, show a fraction. Là, il faut que j'enregistre.
Ah, OK, non, fais pas ça à ce moment-là. Et essaie d'écrire de quoi dans ce devoir-là, ferme-le juste pour voir s'il va sauvegarder. C'est la raison pour laquelle on
Non,
fait
il
cet
me demande
exercice-là.
il me demande de le sauvegarder.
Ah, OK, fait que là, il faudrait que tu le
Attends un
downloades
petit
et
peu.
que tu le recharges.
Là, ils me disent que si je veux mettre l'enregistrement automatique, je dois activer les modifications. Ah, je comprends pas. Parce qu'il est en lecture seule.
OK, c'est ça. Non, t'as pas le bon devoir, c'est la première version.
Ben voyons, je viens d'ouvrir la deuxième.
So
Est-ce
I've
que tu peux
opened up,
vérifier si j'ai bien soumis le lien?
I've opened up a student's work. All I had to press was on her name. So here's the Word document, and it's showing me what she wrote. And I asked for 3 ways, and Lindsay showed me 1 way, which is great, Lindsay, thanks. Can you show me 2 more ways? I can type right, more ways. So I'm giving her feedback. I'm not marking this. So now I see the student's work. I say, oh, that was good, but maybe she didn't understand that I wanted it to be shown in 3 different ways. So I'm sending her the question and I'm returning it. Done. I didn't have to find her in the hall. I didn't have to find her next class. Look at that, done so quickly. And that's one of the gems of working online, is that you can get feedback to your students really quickly without having to go find them. So
Exactement. And Kathy, we had the question about rubrics. I think it's our next step, right?
yeah, I'm going to add a rubric on the next one. So I know that some of you you're starting and you're going to be in an uncomfortable space. That's okay. It's not going to be this session that's going to say, oh, I understand everything, but you're going to see some of the options and then you're going to go try it. And if you need a buddy to try it with and you don't have one, I can be your buddy. Hopefully not all of 80 of you need a buddy, because I don't
Focus
think
on it,
I'm a buddy to 80 people, but Danielle and I can certainly help you. And we have our office hours now. I don't know if you've noticed. Every day at one time, depending on our availability, the office hour is open in the team office hours. So certainly those are great times. We're not that busy right now, so we have a couple people coming. But if it's something you want to work on, that's a great time to find us. Okay, so I'm going to assign another activity now, and this time I'm going to mark it. So if you remember, I went back, I'm going to create a new assignment.
Kathy, can I interrupt for a second? Valérie, oui, on peut voir le tien. That was it. Just wanted to answer.
Okay, so I'm in assignments. I am okay, this one, I'm gonna do a fraction assessment. So this one I'm gonna mark it. I'm gonna add a category and I'm gonna say math and, oh, no, I don't want that one. I'm gonna add a different category. New, this time it's gonna be math assessment because I'm marking this one. Okay, enter. I always forget to enter. I always have to do it twice. Okay, please answer the question. And what I started doing is saying, and submit through Teams. So I didn't get like 30 responses in the chat because through Teams I can keep track of them. So I remind them to submit through Teams. It took me a few times. So I'm gonna add the assignment. I like to go and I'm a bit of a, once I do something, I try to stay with the same way of doing it. Because I'm learning so much that I get confused. So I try to be consistent with my approaches. Okay, so I'm going to upload from my device, bottom left. Okay, this time I'm going to give you the pizza problem because it's almost lunchtime. I'm going to open that up and I'm going to make sure this time that I let students edit it in case they want to do it on the Word document. Hang on. Pizza problem, upload. Okay, I'm uploading, done. And it asks me here, students can't edit. So I'm going to my little, those 3 dots have a lot of information. If you're ever stuck, look for the 3 dots. I want them to edit their own copy. And it also had, if you noticed, they can open in Teams, open in Word Online, or download. So I could probably select that for them, but I like to give, student choices. Oh, I closed that. So, okay. The pizza problem's there. This time, I'm going to make it worth, it's not that big, I'm going to make it worth 10 points. Sometimes with my rubrics, I keep them at 100, depending on that's your choice, how you want to.
Ça, c'est la pondération, by the way. This is the weighting. So you can change it. You don't even have to put anything. It's not.
So I'm going to add my rubric. If you don't put anything, it'll be 100 automatically. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see. I think, where is my rubric? I'm going to find...
Mais en fait, je pense que c'est le bon moment pour dire qu'une fois qu'on a créé une grille d'évaluation et qu'on l'a mis dans nos grilles, elle reste toujours là. Alors, on peut toujours y retourner, même si 2 ou 3 ans plus tard, là, la grille reste là. Une fois qu'on la met, après, c'est facile.
So I kind of forget which rubric it is now. We're doing 5 sessions today, so forgive me a little bit. So I'm going to choose this one. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
Okay, so like in drama, for instance, a lot of stuff is formative assessment, and I would not have a rubric for that, you know?
Right, so you don't have to add a rubric.
So you don't have to.
But,
and then I would do the summative assessment, then I would add the rubric in that.
But if you have Nat, if you have a rubric you're using, you can use it for formative and not make it worth any marks, and then they get used to how you're evaluating.
Right.
What I could do is just
a standard acting rubric, you know, what's covering character, voice, projection, stuff like that, a general rubric for all performances, and then use the same one for summative.
Well, that's it. You could do that, Nat, and just keep putting it in there, and if you don't put any point value to it, it won't show into the marks.
Point value to keep them on track, you know? Okay, thanks.
So instead of I can upload one I've already created, but just because of that question, I'm going to create a new one. So you can upload, like I've got the ministry rubrics, I've copy pasted them, so I can just upload a competency 1 and competency 2 rubric. This one, I'm calling it the pizza question. This is a quiz. Visual, I'm going to see their visual representation in mathematical language. So I want them to give me a model. And I'm going to put ABC, that's ABD, sorry, typo. And I'm going to describe what I want to see. And then I'm going to attach it.
Cathy, can I just take a moment?
Yeah.
Pour les profs de langue, en fait en maths aussi, mais ce qu'on va aimer faire, c'est rentrer nos grilles d'évaluation ministérielles. Pas comme moi, j'enseigne super secondaire 4-5, alors je vais mettre ma grille ministérielle ici. Kathy, do you mind going to the right a little bit just to show that we can add levels?
That's equivalent.
Alors, de base, la grille d'évaluation qu'on vous donne, elle a seulement 4 colonnes. Donc, on peut voir le excellent, good, fair, puis poor. Mais il y a le petit plus au bout. On peut aller ajouter parce que souvent, les grilles d'évaluation ministérielles, c'est 5. Alors, pour avoir nos 5, on va aller rajouter des choses comme ça.
And you can change these words. Like maybe you don't want to put poor and fair, or maybe put needs help, fair. Might put almost there. Good job, excellent. So you can make your rubrics. I'm not modeling the best type of rubric. I just want you to see that you can create it. So I'm going to attach the rubric. And now I have a rubric for pizza, it's called. And later on, if I want to use that same rubric, which I don't think I will, I'm going to look for that rubric when I add a rubric. So it's in your bank of rubrics, let's say. Okay, so I'm assigning it. I'm going to assign it right now. And
Kathy, I don't recall if you said that when you're assigning to different groups of students.
Right. So here, let's do it because.
C'est ça. If you have channels, if you have private channels, je l'aurais expliqué là, but if you have private channels, you will not be able to assign directly to that channel. So for example, if you look on the left side of Kathy's screen, you see the team, AT, and then assignments and teams, general fractions, how to create an assignment on team, and then number sense. But let's say Kathy had created channels with only a few students in them. They're considered private channels because it's only accessible from the students that have these teams. When she's making assignments, she could not assign it directly to that channel. So she would need to select the students specifically.
I'm just going to, just as at that moment, so I went to looking, and of course I'm out of assignments now, so I've had to go back in general. You can only make assignments in general. And I'm going to look into my drafts. I think it's in there. How much piece? So here's what I was working on.
Oui. Okay, so Patricia had a question about if we could connect assignments to a class notebook. Yes. So it can go both ways. So you can assign class book, notebook pages. You can assign them. So you would say this page I want it as homework. Or you can do the opposite. Take the link of your assignment and put it into the class notebook. You can do both.
Okay, so I've assigned that one. Okay, so it's 12:11. So I want to move a little bit forward. If I want to look at a student's work, so the assignment I just gave you, I'm going to go into my class now because I had some students do this for me because they're nice and I wanted to show you. And so I'm going in. What I did is created my math team. So I'm going back into my maths. So excuse me while I just change teams here. And I go into my assignments. And I'll show you while I'm here. So I'm not going to, I will have student names on here, so I prefer if you, it's confidential in this virtual setting. So this is the question I just sent you. Oh, 5 of my students did it. The other day it was only 2. How much pizza would you like? So the question, would you rather have half? No, what was it? Half a pizza or 5/8? 3/4 of a pizza or 5/8? So let's see, Christina turned it in. So I'm going to look at her, how she answered it. So she drew the 2 pizzas. Here's her 3/4. She drew this one as 5/8, and there's 5/8. And she realized that 3/4 was actually 6/8. So she's going to choose the 6/8 because she wants more pizza. So that's how, but look at that. She drew the picture. It's beautiful. Like the work I'm getting on the images, it's really good. So then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to look at the rubric. Oh, she did a great job. So she's getting a level A on the first criteria. Okay, and maybe I would have liked a better explanation. So I'm going to give her a level B on her justification. And you can see the mark she's got on the rubric because I've weighted the different criteria. I'm done. She's got her mark. I've given her feedback. So once our rubrics are set up online, then and I can say great job and send it back to her.
Kathy, I was asked 2 different things. First if we could show how to do assignments using class notebook pages. So I'll try and show it after once we're going back to the.
I think I don't want to overwhelm anyone, so I think
No,
that's
c'est ça.
that at the end, if that's okay. And
then, yeah, that's it. Exactly. That's what I was about to say. And then how to add rubrics from existing documents. So I'm not too sure I understand the question.
So that would be if I have a, let's say, you would have to create a new assignment, upload the existing document that you want to mark, and then you have to add the rubric then. You can't give a rubric to an old assignment on Teams.
No, that's it. You could not reuse the rubric. You would need to copy then and put it as in your feedback area. So that's.
Yeah. So I just want to show you that here's the pizza question. I've only marked Christina. She got a 19.2. I can see who turned it in. I can see who's viewed different things. And see Aiden, like they didn't have to do this. He didn't even look at it. I'm getting such a kick out that so many of them did this pizza question that they didn't have to. You can see Josiah looked at it, but he said, no, I have better things to do than answer Miss Martin's pizza question that she's showing her teachers. So that's real. So I can go in and each one I can look at and see what they did for their assignment. And then I can track all of that. I have all their marks in my grade book. So that's what I love about Teams. It's really good for tracking student evidence, and I can go back and look at their work whenever I want.
Okay, so Kathy, there's a question.
Yeah.
So the question is, are students getting notified when they get an assignment? Et la réponse est, ça dépend. Alors, en fait, oui. Excusez-moi. La question, c'est oui. Tout le monde reçoit une notification. Ça apparaît là où Cathy le montre dans Activity. Alors, en haut à gauche, la petite cloche, on va toujours voir une notification si on nous a assigné un devoir. Là où c'est moins apparent, c'est dans la section Post. Alors, par exemple, si le devoir a été assigné à toute la classe, il apparaît dans les posts. S'il a seulement été assigné à certains élèves, à ce moment-là, il n'apparaît pas dans les posts de la classe, seulement dans l'activité. J'espère que c'est clair. So, for example, if I only assign homework, an assignment to only a few of my students, the only way they will be notified that there's an assignment is through the activity. Bell? Yeah, sorry, Kathy.
Yeah, I was going to say what I did is if I send it to everybody, they'll get the little activity bell goes off on their site and they'll get an assignment. What I have started doing is posting it in a channel and putting, like, let's say I see Noreen there, I would put at Anita Noreen, and then her name would pop up and she would get a notification because I use or at Daniel Martin, he would get a notification. So you can do it that way too.
Bon. Notre prochaine étape, c'est d'aller faire. Wait, Kathy, I just want to make sure. Our next step is really to go and create one, right?
Oh, Valerie, I just wanted to show you that I didn't have to give her 20 on 20, and I think she deserved a 20 on 20. I agree with you. Okay, sorry, Danielle.
Okay, so our next step is to have people go ahead and create their own, right?
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing.
Parfait. En même temps, je veux parler. I'd like to talk about a few things, but I'll let you give the instructions out for people to go ahead.
Oh, for the assignment? So what we wanted you to do is take a few minutes, go through the steps and create one assignment. You don't have to send it if you're not ready to send it, or so if you, I don't know if you have practice teams or even for your, we thought it might be nice if you wanted to just send a small activity. It could be a simple question to your students and get that ready so that you've gone through the steps that we've just shown you. So I can